I finally cracked the code on growing my upper shelf and my side glutes. And this took years of trial and error. And if I can save you some time, maybe turn years into a couple months, a year at most for you, then the tips that I'm about to share will at least be super helpful. So, just a little update. I haven't lifted in months. So, everything that I am sharing with you was an accumulation of everything that I did in 2024, sorry. Everything that I did in 2024 and a little bit of 2025 before I was unable to lift weights anymore. For medical reasons, I can't lift for a couple months. And that's going to be a bummer to deal with mentally. But nevertheless, these tips, again, I'm sharing to help you and even myself so that we can come back to it and we'll have something to reference at least to get those gains, whether you're getting them for the first time or if maybe you're in a similar situation. This will be helpful. So, the first tip that I realized pretty late on is that different muscle groups need different amounts of training and they need basically different frequencies. So, when it comes to the upper glute, which is a muscle that can heal a bit easier, the gluteus medius and the gluteus minimus, you can't use a lot of weight with them, but you can high rep with them and you can fatigue them with low weight high rep. So after that realization, after that discovery, well, for one, those muscle groups I also didn't train enough and didn't realize. So I was doing them maybe like once a week focused, and even though I did glute days 3 times a week, I majority of my exercises were glute max focused. So when it comes to the upper part, the part that I wanted to grow more, like I already liked the volume of the lower part of my glutes. I wanted the upper parts grown. I had to give a little less emphasis to my glute max and a little more attention to the upper glutes. So I ended up adding or taking out a regular glute day and swapping it in for just one complete upper glute day. So that helped so much because my upper glutes, the glute medius muscles, they were healing quicker than I realized. Recovery was super good because my exercises were mostly glute max and they weren't so like hyper targeted on those specific areas, so they had more time to heal in between. And as soon as they're ready to go, they should be able to be used, so why not? So just adding in that one extra dedicated upper glute day made a huge difference. Okay, so tip number 2, you can absolutely see some muscle change on the current diet that you're at if you are working a muscle group that is unfamiliar to training, and if you are also in a BMI that allows some extra padding. So like if you have some extra body fat on you, then some of that can turn into a recomp. Your body can grab energy from what's stored already and use that for some muscle growth. So with that in mind, I thought I had to increase my calories to be able to see my upper glutes and side glutes growing, but really what I needed was good training. My glute max growth was significant and to my satisfaction, and it lent to this heart shape going on my glutes. So I enjoy that. But the way that I was eating also could have benefited my upper glute and side glutes as well. I just didn't realize that I wasn't training properly enough. So yes, tip number 2, before you go and like go crazy with the calories, make sure that your training program is sufficient enough. If you're healing properly, which in my case I was healing properly, I was healing in time. I didn't have soreness or any fatigue or anything like that in my glute medius, glute minimus area, that upper glute area, by the time the next session came. So diet is doing its job. I'm healing. Tip number 3, I would say, is doing mobility work. So taking the time to make sure that I'm not tight, because as soon as you start doing those specific exercises, or like starting to increase those exercises that will help your gluteus medius and minimus, the upper glute area, grow, you're gonna realize you're gonna get a lot of tightness in that area too, mostly from like the inflammation and things like that from exercising and just your body just reacting to the muscle breakdown. So to relieve that, I made sure that I did mobility drills. I made sure that I had a dedicated day for just for loosening up my hips, opening my groin, and yeah, just keeping all of that moving and all of that loose, because if not, then for one, you'll start to feel really stiff. That's uncomfortable. You might end up with pain as well. And if you have good mobility in that area too, it will help with the quality of your movements and your exercises too. So all in all, even though it's something that's like not as glitz and glammy as like the actual workout itself, it's still very important. So even if you take a few minutes before just to use some active stretching, or if you take some time after as a cool down to really get some deep stretches in for your hips, that will make a huge difference than just not doing any mobility exercises at all, because at the end of the day, you want to feel good as well as look good too, so that will lend itself. If you found this helpful, definitely give me a thumbs up and let me know if you have any questions, definitely during this downtime that I'm on. I mean, I still want to be able to answer questions, help, and be able to share what knowledge I have already collected over the past couple years before I basically was put on like an active bed rest. So yeah, just let me know down below, and until next time.